She is so doggone cute and spunky, talented, astute, opinionated, fearless, witty, and outgoing. She doesn't have a shy bone in her body. Her name is Carly Nesmith, and she will soon turn 10. How many 9-year-olds do you know who will happily get on a podcast with a 70-year-old man without preparation and say, "Bring on the questions"? That's Carly. And if you hang with us for about the next 30 minutes, Carly will get your undivided attention. She talks about her life as a fourth grader, a grandchild, a daughter of wonderful parents. Carly sometimes lies awake at night and wonders where she would be at 9 years old, if not for her mom and daddy who adopted her. You will chuckle at her favorite subject in school, but be stunned as Carly talks about Jesus, macroeconomics, and, you won't believe this, politics. I told you she was opinionated, and she doesn't mind expressing those opinions, even if she won't be able to drive for another 6 years, and is 8 years away from being eligible to vote. Oh, I almost forgot. You will also get a little taste of her incredible singing voice. Get ready to be astonished by Carly's talent and insight. I am sure she keeps her teachers on their toes, or maybe their heels, every day. Just so you know, my wife and I know Carly well. She's the granddaughter of our dear friend and next-door neighbor who visits her Nana often and therefore visits us often. I predict Carly will do big things in this life. I wanted to have her on this podcast as a child so that when she gets to be whatever she is destined to be, a movie star, famous singer, entertainer, economist, business leader, politician, congresswoman, president of the United States, or some lucky man's beautiful wife, and some fortunate children's wonderful mother. You can listen to this podcast and remember I said, I told you so.
Viewing life from a hearse, it could be worse. Laugh, think, and cry with the country undertaker.
This is Bruce Goddard, and you're listening to the View from a Hearse podcast. Boy, I got a special guest with me. Her name is Carly Nesmith, and she is our friend. She visits her grandmother, Diane, who lives next door to us pretty often, and she comes over to the house, and I believe she's going to be a star one day, and I wanted to have her on here so she can look back on this when she gets grown, and she can remember back when, before it all happened. So, Carly, thank you for taking time with me to talk to me today.
You're welcome.
So, first, Carly.
What's your first question be?
Okay, well, the first question is, how old are you?
I'm 9, about to be 10 on October 26th.
Okay, so you're almost 10 years old. So I thought you were 9, but I was not sure. And you're in what grade and what school do you go to?
I am in the 4th grade, and I go to David A. Purdue Elementary.
4th grade in David Purdue Elementary. So let me ask you this. What's your favorite subject in school, Carly?
Leaving.
It's not getting there, it's when you leave. Is that right? Well,
that's my favorite subject.
And so why is that? You're a mess.
Because then I'm not around the immature kids anymore, and I get to go home to my family instead of being with some immature kids that don't know common sense.
So your best subject is leaving. You think that'll change as you get older?
No.
You don't?
No, I don't think that will change.
Oh, I bet it will. I bet it will. So who's your favorite teacher? I'm sure you got a favorite teacher, right?
Yes.
Who is that?
Our music teacher, Mr. Weaver. He's my favorite teacher because a lot of the teachers and staff there don't usually actually understand the kids. Not in they don't understand their talking.
Right.
They don't understand their mindset, what we're thinking. how we think things through. Like, they put 200 plus kids in a lunchroom and expect us to be dead silent.
That's kind of difficult, isn't it?
Little bit.
So, talk about your music. You like music, don't you?
Yes, a lot.
I know you sing. Do you play anything? Are you learning to play piano or anything like that?
I have tried guitar. I do not like guitar.
Okay.
But I have tried piano. I absolutely loved it. I was one of my piano coach's best students. But she told my mom that I wasn't old enough, even though I was better than some of her 5th grade students, and it was only my 3rd or 4th week. So I'm trying to get back into piano, trying to play the violin and drums.
Oh, wow.
Not quite yet, but we're getting there.
You're just 9. You got plenty of time to do it. I'm sure when you're playing the piano and taking lessons, you got to be really concentrating on what you're doing. And at 9, that's kind of hard to do sometimes, isn't it?
Yes, but I have been able to focus on things that I enjoy in the past. Like piano, I was able to focus on that really good, so I want to start with that and then get into violin. And I want to kind of start with like piano, then go to drums, because drums, I have a lot of good beat, tempo. I know how to make rhythm, stuff like that.
I'm sure you do.
I need to do for drums to learn is to learn how to like hit it fast enough and what part of the drum makes this kind of sound, how to work the drum, but that's pretty much it. I know how to do everything else.
Do you own drums? Do you have drums at home?
No, my mom would absolutely hate that.
I was going to say, I bet that would be rough with you beating on those drums all the time. That'd be difficult for Mom and Daddy.
If I do literally 4 beats on the house, she'll say, stop. She'll say, stop beating on everything. But I love her.
I know you do. She's doing what's best. But I would have a hard time with somebody beating on something all the time. But you can learn to play drums somewhere besides in your living room, though, right?
Is what bothers me. It's in a good rhythm, and she still doesn't like it. It's a good tempo, good beat, and she doesn't like it. She thinks I'm just randomly beating on stuff when it's a good tempo. You just gotta listen. And she just thinks it's all beaten.
You're a mess. So let's go back and talk about how in the world you and I know each other. You started coming over here to our house when you visited your grandmother Diane a long time ago, right?
Yes, I've been visiting her ever since I was a newborn.
But you've been coming over here next door, too, to see Miss Kathy, right?
Yep, ever since I was a newborn.
So you like Miss Kathy, I know, right? She's sweet, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
She's good with 6 and 7 and 8-year-olds. She taught them a long time. She understands you, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah. She understands our thinking.
Yeah. You have a dog at home, too, don't you?
Well, we have 2, because we had to recently put one down.
Oh, my goodness. I bet that was sad, wasn't it?
Yeah. He was older than me, 16 years old.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
He hurt his leg and he couldn't walk, so we just decided it's been time, so we're just going to put him down.
Yeah. So what's your other dog's name, and what kind is he?
Allie is one of them. She's an Aussie Doodle, and oh my gosh, she has no idea what personal space means.
I've never met a doodle that knew what personal space meant.
And we also have Isla. She's a mix of a Chihuahua and Nana's dog, whatever her dog is. And oh my, the licking. She will not stop licking you. She knows not to lick Mom and Dad. So she goes into me. And all you hear is...
What's her name?
Isla.
Isla.
Oh, yeah, and we also call Allie Doofus. That's my dad.
So, Allie, your dad calls her Doofus, and then you got Isla. Is that right? Allie and Isla?
Yep.
Allie and Isla. Wow.
Yep, and the funny part is, Allie actually responds to Doofus. If you say, "Come here, Doofus," she'll come to you. She knows her nickname.
That is funny.
Especially when my dad does, "Come here, Doofus," and she'll jump on him, just like waiting, like, "What do you need?"
So let me change the subject. When you come visit Nana over here next door to us, what do you do? I bet that's fun, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we go on a bunch of different adventures over there. We're trying to make plans for next Tuesday that I can maybe sleep over at my Nana's house, and me and my Nana and Miss Kathy can have like a girls' night out, like bring some sheets, put it over the patio, watch some movies, stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
So we do stuff over there.
Well, you better talk to Nana and Miss Kathy about that. I don't know if they're going to sleep outside at night.
Oh, no. We would go back home after a little bit. We would just have like a girls' night.
Oh, I got you. That'll work fine. Absolutely. That'd be great.
Plan it out. We're going to bring board games, do each other's nails, do hair, makeup, stuff like that.
Yeah, wow. Well, that sounds like fun. I bet they'd do that in a minute. I guarantee you they'd do that. So you also have got another set of grandparents, right?
Yes, they are listening to us right now. Well, one of them is.
Good. So
I have no idea what the other one is.
I haven't met them, so you need to tell me about them. I know you enjoy being with them too, right?
They can tell you a little bit about themselves. Well, one of them, I don't know where the other one is.
I want you to tell me about them.
Well, one of them I called him Pa. It was supposed to be Papa, but little me said no to that. Me and him go on a bunch of adventures. How many friends he has? Nobody, but God knows. He can't even keep up with them.
I bet. So that's a good sign. That means he's been a friendly fella. You can't have a lot of friends without being friendly.
He has over 200 contacts in his phone.
So you call him Pa, is that right?
Yes, it was supposed to be Papa, but little me said no.
Okay. What do you call your grandmother?
I call my grandmother Mimi.
Mimi?
M-I-M-I.
So you got Pa and Mimi, and you get to spend a lot of time with them, and then you've got Nana. So you got some wonderful grandparents, and you spend a lot of time with them. Do you realize that you're going to look back on that one day when you get older, and you're going to be very grateful for all that time you had with them? Do you realize that?
I do.
Yeah, well, you will. I promise you. And one day, because I'm going to record this, when you get to be 40, I want you to listen to it, and you're going to be, wow, I had it good, and I didn't know it. So let me ask you this. So you talked about Paul. I think, in fact, I know I heard you and Paul singing in church together. How many times have you done that?
One was at not at a fish fry. Revival, and then just regular church service. And there might have been another time, so like 2, 3, maybe 4 times.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do right here. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to play this with Carly and Paul singing. And this is, Carly, you were 9, I guess, in this video that I saw on Facebook. You were a young girl, but the harmony is incredible. So, folks, listen to Carly and Paul right here.
The clouds are getting dark. It's moving in when the storms of life fill our hearts with pain. If we let the Savior in, and when we trust in Him, He will lead us beyond the rain, beyond the rain. There'll be no more dying, no more crying, no more pain. When we put our on with the rain.
When we put our lives in the hands of Jesus, He will lead us beyond the rain.
So I know that was fun singing with your pa like that. You sounded great. Was that fun for you?
It was.
Yeah, well, you're creating some special memories with Pa and Mimi and Nana. My goodness, and being able to sing. So the other thing, Carly, that I notice about you is you don't have a shy bone in your body. I mean, there's nothing shy about you. Have you always been like that? Have you ever felt like you were shy at all? Talk about that.
For some parts, I can be a little shy. I just usually don't like to show it, and I usually don't.
Right. So tell me how you're shy.
With adults, it's like must talk to. But then with kids, it's like, all right, I know that different kids act different ways. I don't know how this kid is going to act. And it's just like, I've seen so many different things in kids. I've seen fake friends. I've seen real friends. I've seen immaturity, maturity. There's just no telling with them. They're so small, yet so confusing. Kids are just so complicated. They're so small, yet so confusing because you don't know what kind of kid they're going to be. There's so many different ways that they could talk to you, act. You just never know. And saying the wrong thing to a certain kind of kid that acts a certain way, you can either make a friendship or you just blew it. You never know.
But you know what you're going to find out? When you get older, adults are the same way. Did you know that? You never know what you get with anybody you ever meet. That won't change. It's not just that they're kids. You may not know it yet because you're not an adult, but you're going to find out adults are the same way. It's hard to figure them out. They may be bigger, but adults can be very confusing to you. That is for sure. You know it?
Like as a kid, trying to make friends with other kids with maturity, that's hard.
Well, that's okay. That'll change. It'll change as you get. So let me ask you this. What makes you laugh?
Funny cat videos.
Like what? Tell me an example of a funny cat video.
When the cat falls into the fish tank and you see the horror in its eyes trying to get out, that's always funny.
How that is.
It's always funny, though. And hear them, just that, like, desperate, get me out, and the owner is just laughing, not getting them out. When they put the cover on the floor and the cat jumps back and hits their head on something, and then they just scurry away. Perfect.
You're a mess. So let me change the subject. What makes you sad?
Seeing anyone, like, grieve or, like, mask. I know what they're going through when they want to mask, trying to see the right way, trying to, like, sometimes see, is this person good, is this person good? I don't think this person would like me to act this certain way, so I have to act this way. Like, stuff like that. When I see that and I know that they don't want to act like that at all, I don't like stuff like that. Or when somebody's mean to another child, because I've seen fights in the gym go on, and I'm like, I wish that never happened.
Right.
Because I've seen got pinned to the wall.
Right. And you're in the 4th grade, and that makes you sad, right?
Yeah, I don't like seeing stuff like that, and it's not because I think it's scary. No, I could watch that all day and not get scared. It's that I don't want them to have to go through that.
Right. So you feel for...
A lot of kids say that because they just don't like it. It makes them feel weird.
Right.
Drop the phone. It makes them, like, feel weird inside, but for me, it just makes me think no kid should ever have to go through.
Right. Let me ask you this. If that makes you sad, what makes you mad?
Other kids' immaturity. I know I've said it like a million times. Some kids are just straight up immature. I will say it until the day I die. kids can be so ruthless, and it's mostly immaturity.
Well, you got to give them a little bit of grace because people are young. They're young. They're going to grow up. They'll change. They'll get more mature, right?
Yes, but I really wish that day would come sooner because I'm done dealing with all of this. It's crazy what some kids are doing.
Well, I understand.
Oh, they're still maturing. They're still maturing. Susan, it's been 5 years, please.
So let me ask you another question, Carly. What's your favorite TV show?
That's a hard one, but I do like Harry Potter. I like scary shows and Harry Potter.
Oh, wow. Wow. How long have you been watching Harry Potter?
I don't know, kind of recently, because my parents were like, oh, well, if you like all this kind of fantasy stuff, then you'll probably like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because, like, it has, like, some good stuff in it. And I was like, yeah, I've always wanted to watch Harry Potter because, like, the whole world's going crazy about it. Like, you're a wizard, Harry, or whatever. Might as well. And I fell in love with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you ever get on the internet?
Yes, I do.
Really? So what do you do on the internet? Is that at school or at home or what?
Well, at school, all we do is grieve because we have to do iReady, be annoyed because we have to do iExcel, and be happy because we can play Prodigy after we do a buttload of work.
Wow.
So, just home. Just home.
You just get on the internet at home, right? Mainly.
Not mainly, because our school only drenches us in iReady, some Prodigy if we're lucky, and what was the other one? Oh, right, iExcel. The two most annoying things in the world, iExcel and iReady. Nobody likes them, but we have to do them.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I'm sure they're teaching you something. So I know this. I know you're a great singer. We've heard you sing with your pa already here, but you sang a little bit of a song for me sitting in our den one day. So I want you to just sing one of your favorite songs, just a cappella right here, and let people hear your voice. Will you do that? Will you just sing a verse or two of whatever you want to sing?
Sure. Let me think of a song. I'll sound a little stuffy, I will warn you. I'll just do Lost Boy.
Okay.
I am a lost boy from Neverland, usually hanging out with Peter Pan, and when we're bored we play in the woods, always on the run from Captain Hook, who runs the lost boy, they say to me.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That was a little too high for me, but
That's great.
that's what's in your stuffy.
Yeah, well, you can carry a tune. I can promise you that. There's no telling how well you will sing as you get older. So I also know you want to be an actress one day, right? I mean, have you auditioned for any plays yet? Or have you been in any plays? Or are you trying to get in a play? Talk about that.
No, but I have been trying to convince my mom to let me to get into a play in the Warner Robins musical theater.
She's probably waiting on the right time and the right age to get in, but you certainly, is there a certain part you would like to play? I know you watch some plays and you go to them. Is there a certain play you'd like to get in?
No, but I do have a role that I would like to be. Anyone who has a fair amount of lines just all over the place, can't tame.
That's funny.
I think that role pretty much describes me, so that's what I want to play.
You just wide open, really, right?
Wide open, loud, and
Good.
You cannot tame me. I'm a wild beast.
What do you do for fun?
Skate, musical theater, art.
Okay. So you skate, musical theater. I know you like to sing. That's fun. And
Art.
In art, yeah, okay. Let's talk about your mom and daddy. I know you got a wonderful mom and daddy. Talk about them. Talk about your dad first. Tell me about BJ.
3 words.
Okay.
Actually, 7 words.
Okay.
He aggravates the snot out of me.
How does he aggravate you?
1 word. Tickles. Another word. Pesters. 4 more words, and I love it.
You love your daddy, don't you?
Yes, and it's aggravating.
Yeah, well, he's having fun with you. He's teaching you to be tough. That's fun that you can have a daddy that aggravates you and you love him very much, right?
Yep, and he sure knows how to tickle me to the floor.
And how about your mama? Talk about Christy.
She never aggravates me. Pesters me in the morning to get me up.
Well,
Wake up! We are family! That's all you hear out of her in the morning is complete pestering you to get up.
well, she has to get you up for school. If she didn't, you wouldn't get up. You'd miss school. So I bet that's not an easy job, right?
The way she does it, how she just pesters me, like, wake up! And, like, will something obnoxious, get the dogs on me, let Isla lick the snot out of me. I'm surprised that dog still has a tongue.
But you love her, though, don't you?
I love her.
Hey, I know you've been very fortunate. I'm sure you've been in trouble in your life. What is the worst trouble that you've ever been in with your parents?
That's a tough one.
I bet it's not been very bad stuff, though, has it?
No, like one time my mom thought that I purposely pushed her, but I accidentally did.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was an accident, but she thought I did it on purpose.
So that would get you in trouble right there, right?
Yeah, I had to apologize to her, stuff like that.
Well, that's good.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Right. I get it. So let me ask you this, because I know you know about this. What do you think about the fact that they chose you to be their child? They got to choose you. That makes you very special. What do you think about that?
I think that I was still in the womb. So they didn't really know me. They were like, "Oh, baby girl, I love her. Let's adopt her."
Yeah. But
It's kind of my thinking, because I know they loved me. They just didn't get to see me. Still chose me, which is an honor. But they were kind of like, "Oh, baby girl, I love her. Let's adopt her." Before I was even born.
I know you're glad they did, though, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh, my. Can you imagine what your world would be like if it hadn't been for your mom and daddy? Can you imagine that? That's pretty cool to think about, isn't it?
It is. I thought about it many times before, and I wondered, if they didn't adopt me, would somebody else adopt me?
Right.
If so, who, or would I go into a foster care?
Right.
Or an orphanage?
Well, let me tell you something. You remember, if you don't remember anything else from what I tell you, God blessed you when he gave you your mom and daddy and your pa and Mimi and your nana. God blessed you, and he knew before the foundation of the world what he was doing. God has his hand on you because of that. So don't ever forget that, okay?
I'm not.
And speaking of that, I know not too long ago, a year or so, you got baptized, didn't you? Talk about that. I remember watching that on video too.
Yes. I got baptized with my dad.
Right. And that was a special day, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So what made it special?
I got baptized. What made it special to me, and that I showed that I gave my life to Jesus.
And that's right. So you showed the whole world that you had done that. And so, again, I just want to remind you that you've been blessed. Who knows where you would be if your mom and dad hadn't come along and chose you to be their child, and you then, in doing that, you got these wonderful grandparents. Wow, you're a fortunate little girl, I can tell you that. And the older you get, the more you're going to appreciate that. So now, what do you think about inflation, Carly?
It's a mess.
It is a mess. I mean, prices keep going up. You go to the grocery store, and it costs more and more. So what do you think causes inflation?
Several things.
Name one, Carly. What causes inflation?
We slowed down drilling for oil.
That's true. That's true. And then, so let me ask you this. The fact that we slowed down in drilling for oil because of environmental issues or whatever, how does that impact prices?
Well, there's less oil,
Yep, there's less oil.
and the demand for oil goes up, and prices go up on everything then.
You're exactly right. I can't believe that you understand how all that works at 9 years old. So let me ask you this. Do you know of another reason that we're experiencing inflation?
Yes, I do. We printed too much money.
We are printing money. The government is printing money like we never have before. So how do you think that impacts prices?
We've got more money in circulation, and that causes demand to rise and pushes prices up.
That is exactly right. So now you mentioned, have you got any other ideas of why we're having inflation?
In fact, I do.
Why?
Joe Biden is in the White House.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what I think? Speaking of Joe Biden in the White House, I think you may need to run for president in a few years.
Yes, I do too. But the person I would vote for is the person named Trump that isn't letting illegal immigrants into our country.
Oh, wow. Boy, you got it figured out, haven't you?
Well, that's Kabila that's letting illegal immigrants into our country, but Biden could easily stop it.
The legal immigrants are fine because the immigrants have helped our country. It's the illegal ones that's causing the problem, right?
Yes, but if they're illegal, that's where I have a problem.
Well, that's amazing that you think like that. So what other comments you got for our listeners? You got any closing comments for people listening to this?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Vote for Trump. Thank you for listening, and also, don't be afraid to try something new.
Don't be afraid to try something new. How about getting on a podcast as a 9-year-old and fielding questions with people in over 35 states potentially listening? I'd say that's something new and very cool. All right, Carly, thank you so very much. You're a sweetheart. Thank you for talking to me, okay?
You're welcome.
Viewing life from a hearse, it could be worse. Laugh, think, and cry with the country undertaker.